We are going to the Pokemon Center. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Pokemon special Japan vlog. So in this video, I want to go through all the different Pokemon centers I got to visit in Japan and rate them out of 5 Pikachus, going from my favorite to my least favorite and the reasons why and which Pokemon Center was the most special and the one I got the most things in. Anyway, sit back, relax and enjoy. So our first Pokemon Center was the Pokemon Center in Shibuya, located in the mall, same floor as the Nintendo store. Now I didn't take many videos or photos of this first store. We went to visit it on a Monday. It was quiet in comparison, and as you can imagine, a lot of plush, cards, everything was in that store. And it's actually here where I learned my first lesson. If you see something you like, you buy it there and then, because I guarantee it will not be there the next time you come. So in this store there's also the arcade, so I got a chance to play one of the Pokemon arcades. Didn't really understand, so you can kind of see me tapping away quite like a crazy man. But obviously the main attraction was the Mewtwo figurine / statue outside the store. It's just incredible to actually get to visit a Pokemon store. So this one was really good, and I did learn a lesson from it, and I did end up picking a couple of things up from the start. So it was here on my first visit to the Pokemon Center where I learned that Japan this week had a shortage of Pokemon cards, and that would really come to bite me later on. It was here I saw V-Star Universe being sold at the front counters with a maximum limit of 5 per customer. I didn't pick any up here, and I did regret that later on, as you'll see in this video. All in all, this was a fantastic first Pokemon Center to visit, and I'm sure most people do when they first visit Japan. However, it was very busy. The staff were fantastic, but it was very busy and a lot of things were out of stock. I did get to visit it twice, second time on a weekend, would not recommend. I'd rate the Pokemon Center 3 out of 5 Pikachu. Now moving on, we've got the Pokemon Center DX. Now, my gosh, this is one of the biggest Pokemon centers in central Tokyo, a little bit out from Shibuya, so a little less explored. So as you go up the elevator, you are greeted by Pikachu, Snorlax and Mew at the DX Center, and it's kind of like a history of Pokemon, as you'll see through the next video. It kind of has a montage of all the different games and generations we've had. Right next door to this was the cafe. Sadly, the cafe slots were sold out. This was a very late night shopping experience, literally an hour before the store closed, but it was really fantastic, a lovely homage to Pokemon. And also so many Gashapon machines. We got really lucky and actually got 2 of the same Gashapon. Same. Oh nice, cheers. So this was a Pokemon store where I really tried to find gifts for my friends. Beautiful selection of items, however not the things I was after on my list. But I was very surprised to see a wedding set there, you know, a lot of merchandise that are just exclusive to Pokemon centers. Little did I know, this was the first time I saw the My Pikachu plushes and actually start to understand what they were and why they were so special. This is where I started to implement Adimaska and ask the staff, who were really friendly and really helpful, any items I was particularly looking for in terms of cards. Unfortunately, a lot of time were sold out, but they would go to the back and actually find a couple of items I was looking for. So was really grateful for the staff's help. Like I said, very exclusive merchandise, very fun, large store, easily spend hours and get lost in, especially with the addition of Pokemon Cafe, which I'm not too bummed out that I missed out. Eating some Pokemon food and drink goodness. Maybe next time, maybe next time. I'd rate this Pokemon Center 4 out of 5 Pikachus. Now, this is where things really started getting fun and interesting. This is the Tokyo Skytree Pokemon Center, as you saw with that magnificent Rayquaza statue to introduce you. This was a bit more of a smaller shop, but was absolutely chock-a-block full of a range of plushies, mostly from Gen 1 to 3. Basically, I'm just giving you a bit of a over-the-shoulder tour of the Pokemon Center. On the right there was the My Pikachu plushes that were like the exclusive Pikachu plushes of Japan. So each store mainly has exclusive Pikachu plushes. It could be the Tokyo Station conductor, it could be Pikachu, different costume Pikachus, Pikachu dressed as a geisha. It all depends on the kind of store you're in, but obviously there was such a shortage, and because a lot of tourists have only just been able to return back to Japan recently, you can tell a lot of Pokemon fans have got in there and grabbed those exclusive plushes. So they weren't really on the shelves, sadly and unfortunately, but like I say, as a fan, just being able to go through a Pokemon Center is more than enough of a treat and reward for the eyes. I mean, just look at the selection here. So many plushes, so many styles. Like I said, this is where I really start to pick up things that if I saw it and I liked it, I would just pick it up and put it in my basket. A lot of fun, and a lot of accessories as well, a lot of traveling things. It was remarkable. So you can clearly tell here that I'm really weighing up my options, what I should buy. Now, this is what I saw. So I'm just showing you in great detail every little item there and giving you a closer and a better look of what actually a Pokemon Center of this size looks like. You know, I like plushes, so of course I gravitated towards there. There were certain ones on my list I wanted to get, and you will see those as we progress through this video, and why I picked certain ones up and why I kind of left certain ones the way they were. But there you go, you can see that crowd picking up their My Pikachu plushes. I just realised what they were, and I will explain when we have actually eventually picked one up. All sorts of figurines, diorama, the little biomes that they do as well. You could spend so much money here, it's such a trap because there's so much Pokemon goodness. The stationery just there, as you saw. And this shop, we literally got there the moment the Skytree Pokemon Center opened, and it already got so busy. There was queues outside. There was a little hint in the preview of the wedding plushes I was talking about earlier. But so many, basically, they make plushes for every single Pokemon you can think of. No matter what your favourite Pokemon is, there's some product here that you will love and can take with you. And they're so well made as well. Like, being in the UK, all this stuff is massively and majorly taxed. And one hint about shopping in a Pokemon Center is, as long as you bring your passport with you, it is tax-free. So you can get a massive, whopping saving on your Pokemon spending. Just a few other little things. We've got sleeves, we've got accessories, we've got tote bags. Like I say, we've got the biomes. Nano blocks were quite a thing that I noticed in a theme in all the Pokemon Centers. And of course figurines as well. Really big selection here in the Skytree. Just very, very impressive. Now, unfortunately, this wasn't my favourite Pokemon Center. The staff were really friendly and helpful. But again, I felt quite disheartened here because I was the first one in the store and still wasn't able to really get the things I was after, especially when I was really on the hunt for some gifts for some, good friends of mine, and I couldn't find anything. And I kind of just dropped the rating down a bit, and the business and the queues were insane this time round. So unfortunately, I have got to rate this 2 out of 5 Pikachus. Now, a little bonus tip here. So as I mentioned earlier, there was a shortage of Pokemon cards in Japan. So a lot of stores, what they were doing, especially we found this in Akihabara, where they would take their Pokemon packs. Now, Japanese Pokemon packs tend to only have 5 cards in them, and they do lotto systems where you place, let's say, 1,000 or 2,000 yen into a machine, and you would receive a little capsule with a letter inside. If you didn't have a letter inside, you'd get the bottom prize, which would usually be a pack of Pokemon cards. However, you'd have prizes ranking from A, being the top cards like the alternate Lugia V from Silver Tempest. They'd be your A prizes, B, C, D, and E. Maybe some rainbow cards, some tag team, that kind of thing. So honestly, my hunt for Pokemon cards continued, but thankfully, after a couple of lottos, where I obviously got the bottom prize, I got some Pokemon packs for my friend. Also managed to get some lotto prizes as well. Now, it is a little bit of a scam because you don't really know what you're going to get, and you might only get a Pokemon card pack when the retail is so much of a decrease compared to what those lotto machines are asking. So it is a little bit of a scam, so just be careful. It is fun, and you know, I kind of got lucky with one of the lottos being able to get some prize cards. However, just be careful out there, and hopefully when you go to Japan, there'll be plenty more Pokemon cards for you to get your hands on. However, don't give up hope and don't be disheartened. There are plenty of other places that most tourists won't think to look for Pokemon cards. One was Mandarake, which is a second-hand anime store that sells all sorts of second-hand goods from people's collections, and there was walls full of Pokemon cards. So if in doubt, go to Mandarake, especially if you're in the central of Japan. For example, Shibuya, there's a great Mandarake there. I actually went a little bit further afield and tried places like Book Off, which is a bookstore, but they obviously specialise in anime as well. However, the best shop I found was a shop called Magi. This is in Nakano Broadway, in just by Shinjuku. Nakano Broadway, a fantastic mall, a fantastic shopping strip, like I say, not too far from Shinjuku. I'm just really slowing the footage down here so you can really kind of appreciate some of the Pokemon cards that are in these cases. And honestly, yes, the Japanese cards, they're well looked after, they're in great condition, and also they are actually reasonable prices for what they are. There was some PSA 10 first edition Charizards, but I had a limit, and my limit was 10,000 yen on Pokemon cards. Stick to the end of the video and see what I picked up, because I think it might surprise you, and there's some cards that I've never ever seen before. So I was just so excited to actually pick up some Japanese Pokemon cards that I'd never seen before, and some classics as well. So stick around to the end, and please let me know in the comments down below, what was your favourite card from this shop called Magi? You know, they've got some really incredible cards, something for absolutely any Pokemon collector of all ages and all different fans of each kind of Pokemon card genre as well. Anyways, sit back, relax, and just enjoy and indulge in this Pokemon card holy grail of goodness. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to make this very short and sweet, but we did visit the Tokyo Station Pokemon store. It is a very small store, very cramped, not a lot of selection, and sadly, no exclusive Pikachu with the train conductor costume. So I am going to have to give this one a 1 Pikachu out of 5. However, on to bigger and better things. These were the models for the Tokyo Pokemon Mega Center in the Sunshine City Mall, and basically it was just a mall and the whole floor was dedicated to Pokemon. You had a little Pokemon Sweet Treats cafe. This was the home of the Pokemon Go labs as well, and card center as well. Just this whole floor was dedicated to Pokemon, and as a massive Pokemon Go player, I had to get some photos in with the different teams leaders. It was immense. This is the one I really fully embraced my love of Pokemon for, and I also got a shiny here, so that was really ironic. I actually got a shiny in Japan. Anyway, let me take you on a little tour. So one cool thing to note, as you go into a Pokemon Center, it will give out that iconic Pokemon Center theme, as well as the Pika Pikachu song, which kind of drove my friend a little bit crazy towards the end. Here you can see the shelves are so empty, and we realised this was the My Pikachu that everyone had jumped on. So again, I think this was one of my favourite stores just because you could freely look around, and it was kind of so much out the way of the central Tokyo. They had an amazing different range and selection and a lot more variety, and it was here where I picked up a couple of, well, not just 2 things, but 3 things from my list. This is actually where we picked up the My Pikachu. So all the shelves were empty. I asked the store assistant, sold out literally that second, and one old Japanese man just happened to put one of the My Pikachus back on the shelf. So without thinking, learning my lesson, if you see something you like, grab it. Grab the Pikachu, and we gave it its name, and I'll go through that process at the end of the video. So me and my friend Liam, we ended up calling our My Pikachu Cal, a mix of both our names, and I'll go through that process as we get towards the end of this video. But this was the Pokemon Center where I'd kind of spent quite a bit. Now, I have to admit, in comparison to other Pokemon centers we've been to throughout this journey, this one was beautifully managed. You could get around every item you wanted to, have a good look, and the queue was so separate from the other parts of the building. And additionally, all those different attractions, the Pokemon Go Lab, the Pokemon TCG Center, and that Pokemon Sweet Cafe, you know what? I have to say it, this was the best Pokemon Center in Tokyo, hands down. And I hope if you get to choose any here, this is the one you go to. It has to be done. This Pokemon Center, I rate 5 Pikachus out of 5. Incredible Pokemon Center. So, here we are, onto our final Pokemon Center in Kyoto. And what a different feel this Pokemon Center had. It wasn't the biggest, it wasn't the smallest. It had a very wide selection, and because you're not in central Tokyo, or you're not even in Tokyo whatsoever, this was more a Pokemon Center for local Japanese people. And had way more variety than any of the central Tokyo stores did, decorated with fantastic statues and more. I'm just gonna be quiet now and just let you enjoy this one final Pokemon Center. So, welcome back. After all that exploring, going to so many Japanese Pokemon centers, it's now time to share with you what I've got. So, in front of me I have 2 very large bags full of lots of Pokemon style goodies. And I'm just literally going to go through one by one, basically. So obviously Pokemon centers bags, they tend to look like, as you might see in the video, these red and yellow one with a Pikachu on it. And then a bunch of other Pokemon designs on it as well. But obviously I've put mine in the more reusable bags. So, we'll start off with this bag. So first of all, the bag's really cool. You've got a mix of all different Pokemon on there. And on the reverse side, I really like this. You've got basically loads of plushes as well. So this was the medium bag. Like I said earlier in the video, as you are a tourist, as long as you take your passport out, you can get a lot of tax. You can get tax-free when you make purchases in the Pokemon Center. So that does take a bit of deduction off. So essentially, these two bags were for free. Look at the design of the bit larger bag. So this one has a zip lock on the top as well. Again, same design on the back, just slightly larger. And again, with all the plushes, which I think is absolutely adorable. It's absolutely wicked. So I want to be keeping some of my plushes in here. I did have a list going into Japan what I'd like to get from the Pokemon Center. Unfortunately, there was a shortage of Pokemon cards, as mentioned, so it was quite difficult for some things, and a lot of stock in different ones. A lot of things I was looking for were out of stock. However, we did manage to get quite a lot of things on my list, so I'm so pleased. So one of the first purchases I picked up was this really big Moltres plush. I really like Moltres. I'm just going to leave some things on the side. Towards the end of the video, we will look through basically everything that we had. I did want to get my Sitting Cuties plushes, so I wanted to get my Pokemon Go team that I use. So Moltres is one of those on my team. So we've got a Moltres and another one, which I found a lot later on in completely different Pokemon Center, way out in Gaburu, with Staraptor. So that's two of my three. So I'm just missing Giratina, but eventually I will get that at some point. But it was nice to just see these two on the shelf, so I thought I had to pick them up. The main takeaway from shopping in Japan is if you see it, get it there and then, because if you come back later on, more than likely it won't be there, okay? So the most exclusive thing, so I'm noticing, it might be because of the tourism, but they're kind of phasing out the exclusive plushes in Pokemon Center. So if you go to a certain Pokemon Center, they might sell, if you go to Tokyo Station, for instance, they might have a Pikachu dressed as a train conductor. Or if you go to Kyoto, they might have a Pikachu dressed up in as a geisha. So I think they're kind of phasing this out, or a lot of them were sold out when I got there. However, the main thing, which I think only got released in April, was the My Pikachu series. Basically, it's Pikachu in 70 different styles. You go to an interactive board, you shout in a Viridian Forest, "Hey Pikachu," and basically you get a random Pikachu put out. This attraction was very busy, of course, and by the time we got to other centres and actually worked out what this was, again, a lot was sold out. However, in one of the favourite Pokemon centres in the Sunshine City Mall, these were getting sold out like crazy, really sold out like crazy. And a gentleman put one back on the shelf. So I'd actually gone to one of the staff members and put, asked Adimaska, which is, do you have? And he said, sold out, and there were so many people's bags. However, this one gentleman put one back, and I was like, this has to be the one. So this is, it looks like an old Pikachu. However, this is called the My Pikachu series, just here. And the special thing about receiving a Pikachu, you know, they had sleepy Pikachus, a bit chubbier Pikachus. This one's just a nice smiley one that was on the shelf. But one of the features you can do afterwards, if you go to the next interactive bit after you made your purchase, I show you a receipt, you can actually basically ID tag your Pikachu. So my friend Liam and I, so we got the last Pikachu, so we named it Cal, for Kieran and Liam, of course. And then you got to choose some personalities as well, hungry, fastest, things like that. The translation was a little bit hokey with some of the things. One thing that made us chuckle a little bit was, I like to be bullied, and we couldn't really big heads or tails of that. So we ended up choosing, this is a naughty Pikachu. So this is Cal, he's a naughty Pikachu, and he is always hungry. So this is the My Pikachu from the Pokemon Center. Again, these were getting in drones, these were selling out everywhere. So, but yeah, it's nice to actually have a Pikachu from the Pokemon Center, and it holds a very special place from that trip. So I'll leave Cal over here. Right, next. In all of the Pokemon Centers, they were selling mystery Pokeballs with mystery characters inside. Again, you don't know which one you're going to get. But that's what, you've got to get a Pokeball from the Pokemon Center. So I might open this a little bit later and we'll see what we've got inside. But yeah, so that was another thing from the Pokemon Center, is the Pokeballs. This time round I brought some sleeves, because I don't sleeve enough of my cards enough, and I thought, oh, I'll get some sleeves from the Pokemon Center. So I've got this beautiful, I think it's Terrassalized Gyarados. It's just a lovely Gyarados sleeves. I thought these were pretty cool, so I picked these up. So there will be some more card opening videos in the future that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. Speaking of cards, let's see what I picked up. So as I said, there was a shortage, unfortunately. I saw them on the first day, and then every single Pokemon Center they sold out. However, we have not managed to pick up just one, but two of the most favourite set I've opened on this channel, sorry. Those are Japanese V-Star Universe. So look forward in the future. My partner and I will be opening these up and we'll see what we get. We had such a great time last time because it's always a guaranteed pull. So we're just going to see what we get this time. So I was very lucky to pick these up. As we scoured Tokyo, there was just this one tucked away card shop in an alleyway and they were selling these at a very good price, actually, much better than England. So I thought, I've got to go jump on these. So now we have some Pokemon card pack openings to look forward to on the channel, again, with these lovely sleeves. But not only that, so my friend obviously really enjoys Pokemon cards as well, and I'm trying to get some Japanese Pokemon cards. Next to impossible. We went to one of the arcades in Don Quixote, and what I believed was Pokemon cards on a UFO machine didn't actually turn out to be. They actually were these. So this looks very, very similar to the Japanese Pokemon card pack. I'm not sure what the set's called, but this was literally lying down on the UFO claw machine, and basically I was able to win it. I won 4 of these, and I was so excited, like, yes, I finally got Pokemon cards. Little to know, these are actually just sweets. The real Pokemon card packs, on the other hand, had a bit more of a story to them. So actually I've got 4 of these, like, chewy sweets, which I might try on the channel at some point. But the actual Pokemon card packs themselves actually came from a lotto service. So as there's a shortage of Pokemon cards in Japan, especially the Japanese sets, what a lot of shops tend to do was do lotteries. Basically, you place so much yen into a machine, it drops out a capsule. If you don't get a letter, either A, B, C, D, so you had A prizes, B prizes, C prizes, D prizes, all descending in the value of cards and orders. So I know Lugia Alternate Art was one of the A prizes for one of the places I went to. So I found the cheapest lotto machine, and if you didn't get anything, the guarantee was you'd get a Japanese Pokemon card pack. So I was like, okay, fine. Even if I lose, I still get the packs I want for my friend. So thankfully, after finding a cheaper lotto, we did manage to find some Pokemon cards, some Japanese Pokemon cards. So they will be going to my friend. I hope he enjoys them. There was a bit of a story behind that. However, even though I was unlucky not to obviously get some of the top prizes, we did actually manage to get a Band D prize. So I think it's now time to show you what kind of Pokemon cards I picked up. Again, there's a very special Pokemon shop in Nakano Broadway known as Magi. Incredible card selection and pretty good prices. There was some PSA 10 Charizards. There was Super Mario Pikachu collaboration. There was cards I've never seen in my life. So I had to pick some up. They were doing these mystery packs for like 10,000, which, yeah, it's a lot and you don't know what you're getting, but it was some very vintage, retro, really well looked after holos. But I thought, no, I want to go in and I want to choose what I like. So, with that said, I'm done. So I'll first of all show you the card we got from the lotto. So this was one of the D prizes. I had a selection of cards in front of me. I could choose like from 4 cards. I haven't got any tag team cards. So I ended up getting this Rowlet and, I think it's Diglett. No, sorry, excuse me. Rowlet and Executor, Japanese Rainbow Tag Team, which is a nice card. I haven't got anything like that in my collection, so I thought, yeah, we'll go for that. So that was the special lottery prize, so again, winner there. However, these were the special cards I got from the Magi shop. So we've got here a Snorlax and Eevee Japanese Tag Team, which I quite like. I just like that card, it's quite beautiful. Then we move on to something that I've never ever seen before. It actually comes in 2. So I like CD promos. I have a Snorlax one, Kakaru, and a Kadabra. But I just love the artwork on these. I just love the artwork. So these are 2 cards I've never seen in my life. And those are these 2. So we have a Mew and Mewtwo. And I saw them both there and I thought I have to pick these up. I've never seen these cards before. And obviously they're definitely Japanese only cards. I really like the artwork and just wanted my collection and something that I can remember Japan having really exclusive cards. So I thought, yeah, I want to pick these 2 up. Not quite sure exactly the names of these, but a cool card. I just wanted to pick them up. And then we move on to probably another one. I'm very excited for this one. This, again, a very well looked after card. I think it's from Call of Legends, but it's the shiny Entei. It's the shiny Entei from Call of Legends. I don't have many shiny cards in my collection, or shining, or how do you call it. But this was beautiful. This was too good to pass up on. So this was shining Entei. But then it dawned on me. It's like, okay, I do want to get something base set if I can find something vintage in base set. And I did find something, and it wasn't too crazy expensive either. And I went for the base set Gyarados Japanese, and it's hollow as well. Probably can't see it on the camera, but beautiful card, absolutely gorgeous card. Something I've not got at all, but always is very vintage. It reminds me of childhood, and that card's just a gorgeous card. So yes, those were the pickups from Pokemon card pickups from Japan, and I thought I'll stop there. You know, that is a really good haul. We'll stop there. So a few other goodies as we go through. This was one with Don Quixote store. It's just Master Ball tin. I think it has candy inside. I just thought that's really cool. Too cool to pass up on. So many convenience stores actually have Pokemon stuff in them. I didn't realise that. So on the first night I got there, I got one of these little what do you call them? Just Pokemon sweet capsules basically, but have some kind of character inside. So I may open those up or to go on a channel at some point. What else was there? Of course, Gashapon was a huge thing in Japan. So I picked up some Pokemon Gashapon as well. Again, I'll do a separate opening for those. So I think we got 3 different things from the Pokemon Center Gashapons, which we will open up in due course. And then each time you went to Pokemon Center, they'd give you a leaflet just going over the new games in Scarlet and Violet. And yeah, some of the promotional stuff they're doing at the moment. So every Pokemon Center is unique. Definitely was very unique, and I feel very lucky not to be able to just go to one Pokemon Center, to go to such a range and see so much Pokemon goodness. It's like a pilgrimage basically for any Pokemon fan to go to a Pokemon Center. The one in London that we had last year, absolutely phenomenal. I hope to keep bringing it back just like they've done it again this year, because everyone deserves to go and enjoy Pokemon and go to a Pokemon Center, even just to be around it, not even necessarily to buy anything, just to go and enjoy it and really indulge in your hobby. Is fantastic. So that was the haul from all the Pokemon Centers. I hope you've enjoyed this Pokemon video, looking through some of the merchandise and ranking the Pokemon Centers as they come. I hope you've enjoyed this. There's way more Japan vlogs to come in the future. Thank you for sticking around, and peace. Bye everybody.